Ladies and guys with a messiah complex, Andy here, the Inner Winner Show. Let's fucking go. You can't save everybody. Guys, I wish you could, but you can't save everybody. And this is a lesson that I myself have had to learn and sometimes keep having to relearn as a coach, as a guy putting out podcasts and writing blogs and trying to help people. I have to constantly remind myself, I can't save everybody. And neither can you guys. Years ago, I was first discovering meditation, fixing my issues, fixing my depression, cognitive behavior therapy, all of that sort of stuff. And I made a bunch of changes in my life. I overcame my depression. I started being happier. And as often happens when you start working on yourself, you want to share that with people. And so I really wanted to positively affect other people as well. At this point in time, however, I was a little clumsy with who I chose to help. And that's just a natural progression of that's a natural outcome, a natural consequence of you entering the beginner stages of improving yourself. You want to help everybody, you want to share with as many people as you can, but you have no idea who can actually be helped. And you have no idea that there's even a concept of like some people are unsavable. That doesn't mean like you can write them off. I'm not saying like those people are, without any merit or anything like that, but some people just don't want to be helped. And one thing that happens the further along you get with helping people is you get a little better, or you get a lot better at figuring out like, okay, I think this person is serious. I think this person isn't. This person wants to be helped. This person doesn't. This person I could help, but it would take me 6 months of effort to help them. I could spend that 6 months helping 50 people who do want to be helped, where it would only take me 1 week for each person. And so at this point in time, in the early days, when I was first making all these changes and starting to improve myself, I wanted to share that with other people. And there are a bunch of people that told me they were depressed, or some people were overweight, or they wanted to work on some of their goals and stuff. They told me that they wanted to improve their lives. They were saying everything that sounds good, right? I want to change. I want to be like you. I want to do this. I want to overcome my depression like you have. I want to lose weight like you have. And I would give them advice. God knows I tried. Especially like workout advice, weight loss advice, food advice, like depression advice. I would give them book recommendations. I would buy them books. And it all seemed to fall on deaf ears. I was trying my hardest, and I got to a point where I was kind of frustrated because I was like, I'm giving them the answers. They keep telling me they want to change. They keep telling me that they want to do some of the stuff that I've done. It's so easy. Just start. Here, I'm telling you exactly what to do. And at this point in time, I had a mentor, an older guy. He wasn't really a mentor. He's more like a family friend kind of. But he pulled me to the side because he was watching me try and help other people. Like in certain situations, he would see me trying to help other people and like talk to someone for like half an hour and give them weight loss advice, only for them to just completely ignore it. And he pulled me to the side, and very seriously, he looked me in the eyes and he said, Andy, and he kind of grabbed my shoulders and he said very seriously, Andy, you can't save everybody. And at this point in time, this hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, what? Yes, I can. Like, it was the arrogance of youth. I think I was younger when he said this. I think I would have been like 24, maybe 25. And he said, like, you can't save everybody. Like, some people just can't be saved. Or maybe they could be saved, but the amount of time it would take you to do so is like 4 years. Some people don't want help. They say that they do. They look like they do, that they're giving you lip service and telling you the things that someone who's serious does say, but they're not following through. They're not taking the actions. They're not listening to your advice. You're giving them the answers and they're not using them. So some people can't be saved. You are only a shitty human. You're a flawed human being. You don't have enough time, energy, wisdom, willpower, whatever it is. You just don't have enough time to save everybody. And that, like I said, that hit me like a ton of bricks. That really, really, really hit me. I can remember vividly exactly where we were standing, what we were doing, everything that happened. Like it's one of those memories that's just ingrained in my brain. And I want to say the same to you guys. It applies whether you're a newbie. It definitely applies to people like me, coaches. It applies to anyone who's giving an information product or an information blog, any YouTuber, anyone out there who's trying to help people. Guys, you guys and girls who are into self-improvement, as you start making changes, you're going to want to help other people. And some of them will tell you the right things. I want to change too. I want to do what you're doing. I want to do this and that. But they will give you excuses. I want to do what you're doing, but I can't. I'm tired this week. I'm tired today. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. You can only do it because you're tall. You can only do it because you're young. You can only do it because you're white, or you're rich, or you're this or that, or you have friends. I have these other problems that mean that I can't do what you're doing. They'll give you like bullshit excuses, basically. And I want to make it very clear that it's a very noble goal to help people. That's obviously why I'm doing this shit. God bless you. Not that I believe in God, but God fucking bless you for doing it. But counteract that, or counterbalance that with, just balance that with, if some people, you try to help them, but it just doesn't work, don't get frustrated at yourself. That's the main message I want to get across here. You're not necessarily doing anything wrong. Some people you just can't save. Now, maybe you could in the future. Maybe in 3 months they'll be ready. And I know plenty of people, especially on my forums and some of my coaching clients even, who at a certain point in time, a certain moment in time, were not ready to be helped. They just weren't. Nothing I say would have affected them. Nothing anyone on the forum says gets into their head. They go away for 3 months, maybe they crash and burn, maybe they hit a low point, maybe they have an epiphany, maybe they just get frustrated with their lack of results, and then they come back and they listen. I can think of several people on my forums, and you guys will probably know who you are as I'm talking, who've fucked around and not listened to anyone, and then everyone gets frustrated and goes like, fine, we're not going to fucking help you. And then 3 months later, that person comes back and goes, okay, I'm ready. I'm humble now. I'm ready. And it does take humility. It really does take being humble to improve yourself. You have to literally say, what I'm doing right now isn't working for me. Either I'm not happy, I'm not reaching my goals, I know I can do better. That takes humility. You have to literally say, I'm not good enough right now. Or maybe that's a bad way of phrasing it, but like, what I'm doing right now isn't good enough to get me the results. So not I'm not good enough, but my actions right now aren't good enough. I can do better. I can be better. I can become better. That takes humility. And some people just aren't ready to be that humble yet. They're just not. They're not there yet. They're not ready to listen. They're not ready to do what you say. So I want to make it very clear. Again, I really want to draw this point home. Yes, keep helping people. This is not me saying stop helping people. If that was the case, I'd shut this fucking podcast down right now. Why am I doing this? To help you. There's a million other things I could do that would make me infinitely more money than this weird little fucking niche that I'm doing right now. I could go off and fucking make $1 million from being a salesperson, right? I'm pretty good at sales. I could go and crush that. I'm doing this because I want to help people. So please keep helping people. Yes. Just don't get too frustrated and don't get down on yourself, and don't keep investing time that's poorly spent on helping someone who clearly doesn't want to change. Try for a little bit, maybe set yourself a line in the sand of, I'll try and help this person for a month, and then if they still make excuses, I'll tell them. Don't necessarily just have to withdraw your help, but you can sit them down and say like, look, you're not being humble. You're not listening to anything I say. You're making excuses. I don't think you're actually ready to change. I know you want to change. I just don't think this is that moment in time. I don't think you're ready yet. I don't think you're ready to go all in. I don't think you've had that like fuck it moment. I've talked about that in the past, that moment where you go like, fuck it, I'm going to do whatever it takes now. Fuck it, I'm sick of being a loser. Fuck it, I'm sick of being poor. Fuck it, I'm sick of not having women in my life. I'm going to fucking do whatever it takes. Like, that's humility. That moment where you say, fuck it, I'll do whatever it takes, you have to be humble. You have to say like, I'm not good enough, or what I'm doing isn't good enough. I'm going to fucking do whatever it takes. And some people just aren't ready for that moment. So say this to that person if you want to. Say like, I just don't think you're at that moment yet. I don't think you're ready yet. I want to help you, but I'm kind of wasting my time and I'm getting frustrated. I'm investing in you. It's frustrating to get invested in someone that doesn't follow the advice because you care. And again, this is why I've had to learn this lesson. I'm someone that really deeply fucking cares too much sometimes, I think. I really think sometimes I care too much about people. And I've had this in the past. I'm good at it now, but there was a long period of time where I'd get really invested in someone. I would pour my heart and soul into helping them. I would spend fucking 10 hours writing them long paragraphs of text. I would record videos for them. I'd do podcasts specifically for them. I'd write on the forums. I'd jump in. I'd give them discount coaching calls and shit like that. And then all this effort would end up with them just making excuses or not doing anything, or again, maybe they're not ready at that moment to go all in and actually achieve their goals. Maybe they're scared, maybe they have a fear of success, maybe they have a fear of failure, maybe they're scared of rejection. But I would put 10 or so hours into helping them. And when you put that much time and effort and you write that much and you do podcasts, you care. Of course you do. You're invested by definition in their outcome. And the problem with being invested in outcomes that you can't control is when it doesn't work out for you. That's very fucking frustrating. You feel very passive. You feel like you have no control. You feel like, well, what's the point? Like, I can't affect this person. And that gets incredibly, you can get yourself into a point where you start feeling hopeless. You're like, I can't help the people that I want to help. No, you can, but your mission has to be picking your targets carefully. Don't just have a shotgun approach where you shoot everything. You need to be like a sniper. You need to pick your targets, pick the people that you think will actually respond to your help and help those people. There's a reason that I screen so hard. When you try and hit me up for coaching, I specifically have a checklist of things that you have to tick before you can even fucking email me. That says like, yes, I will invest in myself. Yes, I will do the homework that you give me and do what you tell me to do. Yes, I will take myself seriously. When you try and sign up for my forums, guys who've signed up for my forums, what does it say when you sign up? It specifically says before you can make your first post, literally you can't make a post until you make one post saying I, and then your name, like I, Andy, commit to taking myself and my goals seriously. You have to sign that contract before you can get on my forums. You literally can't use my forums without that. You also have to have a photo of yourself. You can blur out your face, fine, but you have to have a photo of yourself and either crop out your face or keep your face. A lot of guys just leave their face in. You have to have a photo of yourself and that commitment that you're going to take yourself seriously before you even get access to my fucking forums. You don't even, and the forums are free, right? But you don't even get access to the forums because I don't think you're serious unless you're willing to do those two things. So I've done a very good job. Look at me patting on my own back. I've done a very good job of keeping out the people who aren't that serious. I do the same shit with my coaching. Part of the reason why my coaching prices are what they are, I'm going to look back in 2 years and be like, dude, your coaching prices were so fucking low. I've had so many people tell me that, but the coaching prices are not negligible right now, right? I think at the time, this is going to age poorly, but right now, if you want to sit down with a coaching call for me, it's $1,000 for 2 calls. That's going to go up in time, but whatever. So to even get access to me, you have to be willing to upfront give me money. That's a good way of screening. That's like saying, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, if you just want me to like sit down with you for $50 and give you half-assed advice that you'll half-assedly listen to, like, fuck no, don't even bother. And again, you have to sign that checklist and say, yes, I'm willing to take myself seriously. Yes, I will do the homework you give me. Yes, like I screen really fucking hard to make sure that anyone I work with is serious so that the money they give me, I can actually put to good use. I don't want your money if I can't help you. If I don't think I can genuinely change your life, I don't want your fucking money. So that's why I've screened really hard, and I've done the same with my forums, and why I would recommend, you guys don't have to screen that hard if you're just trying to help people, but it screen a little bit, right? Like if someone comes up to you, maybe someone in your family or a friend, and says like, oh, I really want to lose weight. Your next question should be, what are you willing to do to make it happen? Like what sacrifices are you willing to make? If they don't have an answer or they can't think of one, then don't help them. Or you might have to brainstorm with them and say like, well, are you willing to give up this? Fine. But if they're not willing to give up anything, like if they're not willing to give up, okay, I'll stop eating Doritos and fucking Mountain Dew and eating Twinkies and what are some other fucking fat foods? Cake and cheesecake and shit like that. I'll stop eating that. Yeah, maybe I'll sign up for the gym and I'll just go like once a week and then maybe twice a week and then 3 times a week. I'll slowly build it up, but I am willing to do that. If they're not willing to do one of those two things, if they're not willing to download a calorie counting app and check their calories, if they're not willing to do like keto or something, you don't have to do all of those things, but like they have to be willing to do at least 1 or 2 of those things, right? Something. They have to be willing to pay a personal trainer, put some money on the line. That's why my coaching costs money, so that you are invested. If the person you're trying to help isn't willing to make any sacrifice or do anything or take any next step, don't help them. Like, why would you help them? They're not serious. This is another reason why I say, I have that previous podcast I did where it says, don't talk about what you will do, talk about what you have done. And so you want to say the same to someone who's coming to you for help. Say like, okay, it's fucking awesome that you want to change yourself. Like fucking great. First step, go download MyFitnessPal, the app that lets you count your calories. Or go research like 5 gyms just in your local area and then come back to me and tell me like which ones you looked at. If they're not willing to do that, they're not fucking serious. If they come back to you and say like, okay, I downloaded the app, what should I do now? Great. Help that person. So that's the way that you screen and figure out if someone is serious and worth helping and actually can be saved or helped, is are they willing to do step 1? If you give them step 1, a little tiny baby step, and they go and do it, okay, give them the next step, then the next, then the next. I've had plenty of guys where I do this. They'll come to the forums and they'll have a problem. There was one guy in particular, he's going to know exactly who I'm talking about. His username is Lost Cause, and he's like not a lost cause, by the way. He's a fucking legend, but he came to the forums and he was like, you know, not whinging, but he's like, I'm a virgin and blah, 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 and this and that and the other. And I was like, bro, go lose your virginity. Go pay a prostitute right now. Stop whinging about being a virgin. Go pay a fucking escort and come back and do it. And so he went away. 2 days later, he comes back and he goes, hey, I did it. I did what you said. I paid an escort. I've lost my virginity. Okay, I'm not a virgin anymore. I can't complain about that. What's next? And it's like, okay, this guy is fucking serious. And this guy I'm going to pour a lot of time and effort into. Other guys will come to you with a problem. They'll be like, I'm overweight. And you're like, okay, go download this calorie counting app and go sign up for a gym. And they'll come back like a week later and just be like, it's so hard. I hate being fat. It's so hard to sign up for a gym. And you'll say like, shut the fuck up. Go sign up for a gym now. Go download no more talking until you've done those two things. Take action. Nobody wants to hear your complaints. Take action. Those two things, go do them. And they just won't. They'll make 5 more excuses. Oh, but I'm depressed. This, that, and the other. It's like, do something. Do one thing. Download the app that will take you 5 minutes. Download the app right now. Do that. I can't. My life sucks. It's not fair. Don't help that person. That person doesn't want your help. Maybe they will in future. Maybe they'll have an epiphany. Maybe they'll get all the complaining out of their system and then they'll go, okay, I'm ready to be helped. But don't pour all your time and effort into helping that person because they're not serious. Again, I want to make it clear that over time, you will get better at figuring out who's actually going to listen to your advice. Doing what I said is probably the easiest way, like just giving them one little task. And if they go away and do it, like an easy task, like downloading an app, checking out some gyms in their area. If they go away and do that, they're serious. Over time, you'll get better at figuring out like who's actually serious and who's not. So you'll also stop feeling guilty about the ones you can't save because you go like, no, like they're not ready yet. And that's maybe a better way of saying it rather than like, oh, they don't want help or they can't be saved. You just say like, they're not ready yet. It's almost like it's a religious thing, right? I sound like I'm religious. They're not ready to find Jesus yet. They're not ready to find self-improvement yet. They're not ready to build the life they want to build. They're not ready to improve themselves. Maybe they will be in the future. Maybe they won't. Who knows? Right now, at this point in time, they're not. And it's not your job. I want to make that clear. It's not your mission to make someone ready to be saved. You can't do that. You can influence, sure. You can give them little bits of advice, sure. But don't pour like 10 or 15 or 20 hours worth of your heart and soul into someone. Give them advice, yes. Help them a little bit, sure. Push them, motivate them, yes. Sure, fine. Just don't pour like 15, 20 hours and don't put everything you have into them if they're not ready yet. Wait until they show you that they're serious. Wait until they go away and do 1 or 2 of the things that you recommend and then pour your heart and soul into helping that person. If after all of this, you need a bit of coaching, you need a bit of advice, hit me up. I'll leave a link in the description below. Again, I think I need to make this clear. Please only hit me up if you're actually serious. All the guys that hit me up are genuinely very serious. If you're willing to invest in yourself, you're willing to put some money on the line and actually do what I fucking say, I will work with you. If I think you're not serious, I won't work with you. Again, link in the description below. And as always, go and crush your goals.